you, get in here. We are going to talk about gold's new all-time high. We'll be taking a look at the targets moving forward, what lies ahead, potentially major support, major resistance, etc. We'll also take a look at gold. We did gold. We'll also take a look at silver and platinum too. And of course, if you're watching this on the replay, use the time codes below to go to your favorite part straight away. But look, if you're watching live, you get to enjoy everything we do here at Good Morning Stackers, your weekdaily live show with me, Joe Main. I've worked in the precious metals industry for 11 years in Australia. I've been a stacker for longer than that. Now I do this show and I help you launch and grow on YouTube for your business specifically. Also, if you have an individual channel, that's cool too, but mainly I've been helping businesses. I have a range of different clients in all different kinds of areas, bullion dealers and other people too. So find out more about that by contacting me personally. Go to instagram.com/itsjoemain, instagram.com/itsjoemain. But let's do the synchronized slurp. That's where we grab a tasty beverage, any kind of beverage. Keep it healthy, I think, is probably the best way to go. They do say alcohol is poison, but grab a tasty beverage and we slurp it together. It is an audible slurp. It's an honor system. I don't care if you're in a meeting, if you're by yourself, if you're still in bed, whatever. Wake up the partner. That's cool too. Here we go. In 3, 2, slap it. Great to see you all on this fantastic morning. What we do here, this is why I say use the time codes below, because of course it's about the topic of the day, gold's new all-time high, rah, 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 but it's also about the GMS family, the Good Morning Stackers family. We do shout outs, we talk a little bit, we have a synchronized slurp, we shoot the breeze, and then we get into it. So use the time codes. It's really easy for you impatient people. Let's see right here. I want to see, who am I going out to today? Didn't go out to Twitter, that's okay, but we're on Facebook and of course we're on YouTube. So hit the big red subscribe button on YouTube to join said GMS family. Oh, look, you're all in here today. Look at this. This is great. GMS y'all says CT, who is from Texas, the Lone Star State in the United States. Mark from Florida, i.e. Florida man. GMS, attendance will be spotty tonight, but I am looking for Joe's take on the new all-time high. ATH, baby. Ray M is also in the house. GMS all. Chris Phipps, I don't think I've seen you. Have I seen you on the show before, Chris? Good morning. Well, if I haven't, welcome to the show, live show. Good morning, Stackers. Portland, yes. We have spoken about, unless you're a different watcher from Portland, but I think we've spoken about you from Portland before. Yes, we have. Good morning, Stackers. You say GMS. Let's tighten it up. It's still Tuesday afternoon here in Portland, Oregon. Yes, Australia is in the future. It is Wednesday, the 17th of July at 9:30 a.m. So yes, we're in the future. I'll tell you what gold's doing, and you can place all your trades, and then because you're in the past, so then you'll win every single time. Of course, makes sense, right? Let me get rid of that. David Williams says, morning all. Good morning, David. Lance is back in. Hello and GMS. Minister 988. Oh, you're all in here today. The Don. GMS. What a night it's been. Has indeed. And Pete Repeat is here too. So a quick couple of plugs, of course. If you have anything you want to tell me, any bit of show and tell, anything like that, we do subscriber show and tell where you send me an email to gmstackers@gmail.com, gmstackers@gmail.com, and you send me something that you've just recently purchased or a favorite piece from your stack or something like that. And then I will give you a shout out. I'll share the screen. You can be anonymous, but I'll share your little screenshot of your entire stack or one piece from your stack or something you just found at a little coin shop, anything like that. So we'll do subscriber show and tell. If you have any questions or anything, send me an email, gmstackers@gmail.com. That's the way to get in contact with me. And of course, I'll be reading out, keep getting your questions in, your comments. I'll be reading all those out in between the show and all that sort of stuff. But of course, what I'm going to have to show you is, well, we're going to talk about, obviously, gold's new, all-time high. But what we're also going to talk about is, naturally, of course, Perth Bullion Exchange. Now, why Perth Bullion Exchange? Who the hell are they? What am I talking about? If you're new to the show, They are my brand partner. They also happen to be one of my clients that I'm currently teaching them the skills of how to create consistently engaging YouTube content in order to grow their customer base. They're a brand new business. Let me show you them right here. They're a brand new business, Perth Bullion Exchange, launched in May, on the 1st of May, and they're Australia's first dealer to offer free shipping on discount volumes. Never been done before in Australia. All you Yanks watching, all you other people around the world who are like, free shipping? Of course you get free shipping when you buy over a certain dollar amount or over a certain quantity of bullion. Duh, who doesn't? Australia didn't. Australia never had free shipping over buying over certain quantities until Perth Bullion Exchange stepped up and went, yeah, no, we're going to be the first. And so they're the first. So buy over a certain amount, a tube of silver coins, 20 silver coins, you get free shipping, express shipping, sign-on delivery, all that stuff, Australia-wide. No international purchases, no international shipping, so you can't buy from overseas, just so you know. And free shipping overseas, no, that wouldn't work because obviously not economical, but free shipping buy over certain quantities. And of course, they have their weekly specials. So this week, they actually just released the 2024 Star Wars Beskar bars. And right here, sorry, this is not their special. My apologies. This isn't their special. This is the fact that they released my apologies. This is not their special, but they have released the Star Wars Beskar bars. So they did an unboxing video yesterday, and those are the bars right there that you can get. But what I should have shown you was the special they actually have on. My apologies. The Beskar bars are not their special. Their special is right here, the Barbados coins, the 1/10 ounce Scottsdale Barbados coins, the weekly special, $10 off for the 1/10 ounce and $25 off for the 1 ounce Barbados gold trident coin right there. And then if you buy over a certain amount of the gold, you get free shipping as well. So discount plus free shipping, come on. What more could you ask for? So that is it. I'll do some quick comments and then we'll get to talking about gold's all-time high. So let's see. Morning, Joe. Yes, morning. All says Knackers O'Reilly. Good morning, mate. A1AU79. Great to see you on the channel. Morning, Joe. Again, sorry, missed the last few months. Been on the road in a caravan up in Gulf Queensland. Gold fossicking. So you've been gold prospecting. Fantastic. Had Starlink. I want to get Starlink, but timing wasn't good in the mornings. Home now. Andrew from the Sunshine Coast. Great to see you on the channel again. Andrew, out of interest, I'll get back to this later on, but tell me about Starlink because I really want to get it. Is it as good as they say it is? What are the kind of usual kind of download speeds? And is it basically anywhere in Australia you get really good connections, or does it still kind of depend? Out of interest, so we'll get to that at the end. But Chris says, okay, GMS. Yes, I've been here a couple of times before. Yes, let me know what goal will be tomorrow morning and I can still get to my little coin shop before they close today. Yes, because we're in the future here. In Australia, Christian Yo. Remember? I remembered. Christian Yo says, what a jump since yesterday for gold. We'll be going straight to that in just a second. Last comments. Went there on Monday and picked up 50 ounces. Oh, you went to Perth Bullion Exchange and picked up 50 ounces. Awesome service as always. I agree. Ricky and the guys there are doing a bang up job. And quick question. How sought after are the Baird & Co. brand of bullion? In England, that's where they originate from. Baird & Co. are popular. A company, Goldstackers, which is the company that I first worked for in 2011. My boss there, Mark, he was really championing Baird & Co. products, and Goldstackers were one of the first to get in Baird & Co. products on a regular basis back then. And so Baird & Co., look, they're around. They're not huge here in Australia, but they're just gold is gold, silver is silver, So I wouldn't call them sought after, but, it's just another brand. And Lance says, Perth Bullion Exchange were amazing with my transaction shipped to Queensland. Yes, here's the deal as well. Because they're still building up the business and, they're building up their customer base and all that. But still, if you order by a certain time of the day, it gets picked, packed and shipped that same day, business day, of course. And so you could potentially order on a Monday, as long as they've received payment cleared in their account on Monday. And then I think it's 1 or 2 o'clock their time, which is Perth time, which is like 4 o'clock our time, Eastern time, picked, packed, shipped, same day. You can potentially get it the next day, depending on where you are within Australia. So who does that? What other bullion dealer does that? Come on. That's why they are my brand partner. Happy to partner with them. All right, people, let's talk about gold's new all-time high. You hit the time code. You were good, and you went, okay, I'm going to hit the time code, and I don't want to see all that other stuff, the awesome, Good Morning Stackers family stuff. You've hit the time code. You want to find out about gold's new all-time high. Let's take a look at the price of gold, what it's done overnight. Let's take a look at the next targets, potential targets. Of course, nothing I say is financial advice, and I don't give definites either. I just give kind of percentage likelihoods and all that kind of stuff. But here's what I want to show you, a couple of things. Number one, let's just bask in the glory of a new all-time high for gold, 2,468, and it hit 2,469 US dollars per gold ounce. We're using the tradingview.com website, and of course that's priced in US dollars, as I just said. You're looking at it here on the daily time frame. So very quickly, this is just really rocketed. You didn't get a show yesterday. Maybe me taking the day off yesterday because I had to was ominous for the gold price. But out of interest, what's happened in the last 48 hours? Well, of course, we'd broken above. Now, let me just quickly show you. I just need to... this isn't to say, hey, look at me, I'm awesome, blah, blah, blah. I'm just pointing out the kind of the little things that I've been saying for a while, and it's very obvious to anyone when you have a decent look at it. Okay, but back here, just very quickly, remember back here, geez, all that way back in, seems like a long time ago when gold was only at $2,400 back in April of this year. We had this little spike here, right? That was at to 24.30. And then when we had that spike, I said, I don't like spikes. I don't like big spikes. Big spikes say, a little bit jumping the gun there. And the fact that we had already been in extremely, let me move that so you can see it, extremely overbought territory on the daily time frame right here. And we had this peak here, and that we'd already seen right here, gone back up to extremely overbought territory again on the relative strength index very quickly. And I said, ew, that's looking a little double toppy. Okay, this was after the fact, and plus we'd already been extremely overbought twice, looked a little double toppy, and we saw this big spike as well. And I don't like big spikes. I said, okay, just watch out, double top here on the relative strength index. Just don't be surprised if we see some downward movement. And we did, okay? And again, this is not saying, no, not at all. It's just saying it's on balance of probability, more likely a double top. Okay, and we did see some price movements to the downside. After we came down here, I posted this little level right here. I think we were around about, from memory, we had already posted this low. That is correct. We'd already posted this low here, and that was on the 3rd of May this year. And so then what I did is I popped in a Fibonacci, and I can find the video and you can see where I did it. But I popped in a Fibonacci level from this high, this spike, right there, and this recent, we'd only just hit it, so it's kind of looking like that, right? So I popped it in here, and I said something along the lines of, watch out for $2,400 to be the final hurdle for new all-time highs to come. I was of the belief that if we see a move back up, here, and I'll show you right here. If we see a move back up, the 61.8 can be a level, but for me, it's not until we break the 78.6. Let me just show you right there. Where are we? Right here, the 0.786, sorry, that line's in the way, but you can see it at $2,398.67. It's not drawn in perfectly, so I called it 2,400. So then I put in this horizontal line, this big horizontal blue line, and I put it in back here, okay, before we had this spike. And I said, if we close again, if we close a day, and I said preferably a week or a month, but even if we close a day above this level of 2400, and I said, then watch out for new all-time highs coming quickly. That's pretty damn obvious. Look, obviously, if you come back up to this level, it's looking pretty obvious you're going to make some new all-time highs. Okay, so it's nothing major, right? But out of interest, we did find some resistance here on the daily. We closed here, so I was saying just got to watch out potential, dead cat bounce where we come up and it fakes out and then heads back down. But the following day, we broke and we closed the day above it. So it was pretty obvious to everyone, okay, new all-time high coming. Technically, it was a new all-time high, but it wasn't a huge one. But we did make a new all-time high at 2,450. And then we broke back down again. So it was a failed move to sustain. So oftentimes from a failed move comes a fast move in the opposite direction. Failed to hold 2,400, back down for a good period of time. So between the 22nd of May, all the way until just the other day, till the 11th of July, where we broke back above 2,400. And so I remained confident that 2,400 is still that line in the sand, that final hurdle. And so we closed the day above it. And I said, hey, that was great to see. I really preferably want to see the week close above it. But I said, watch out for 24 as a level of support. And we certainly saw the next day, we saw it as a level of support on the daily, a quick spike down, and we closed above it. That was an excellent sign. And then the other day, I did the video and I said, oh, we closed, when we opened on Monday, I said, oh, we've closed the week above, we closed last week above 2,400, and that signals to me, and I had to remain with my call. I had to say, well, that means to me all-time highs coming sooner rather than later. And I did give it weeks. I didn't give it the following day. Certainly didn't think it was going to be that same week. But I said, in the weeks coming, watch out for a new all-time high to be made rather than in 6 months' time, that kind of thing. It was coming much sooner rather than much later, if that makes sense. So we have seen that, and that's fantastic. So we have broken now above 2,450 and that $2,470 roughly. Here's where I need to show you a couple of other things just to keep in the back of your mind. I am not saying any of the following, but we just got to keep these in note. Do you remember the 21st night, September? No, do you remember a while ago, and I have to take you back. I'm going to pop this on the monthly time frame. Now, out of interest, I will make note of the following, which I didn't actually think this was going to happen. If you remember a video a couple of weeks ago, maybe, I was thinking, and I'll pop this on there for a sample. I didn't think, and I was wrong, and I will completely say absolutely wrong on this. I didn't make it as a call, but I just didn't think it was likely. You see this pattern right here, out of interest, and I've got to call it when I was incorrect. It was just more of I didn't say definites, but I just said I didn't think seeing this pattern here, this spike this is the monthly time frame, this spike in April, and then this slightly higher spike in May, and in particular because of this red month in June, it's much less likely that I see a pattern where it goes there, and then keeps going up. To me, that seemed more like, a high there, a slightly higher high there, and then a red month there. I was like, ooh, no, it's more likely that we're heading back to the best buy zone of that 2250 to 2150 of that rectangular there. I just didn't think, and again, as the price was creeping up, I was giving the less likelihood or a less percentage chance that we'd see that best buy zone, but I just didn't think I'd see that pattern that we're seeing right now. But I was wrong on that. So we've certainly seen it, but that's not the thing I wanted to show you. What I wanted to show you was here, a while ago, if you remember, at kind of towards the beginning of this show, which started in sort of mid-May. By the way, 430 subscribers in just a couple of months. I think we're doing great guns. Hit the big red subscribe button. What I did do, if you remember, you can see this purple box right here. So remember, for a while I've had this purple box drawn in at 2,350 to 2,470 specifically. Why was that? If you remember, It was because I took a Fibonacci from this high. This is back in the last gold peak of 2011 and the lows of 2015. And I said, watch out for a couple of levels right here. 2,400. I've got to get that drawn in quite well. And let's see, it was there, so that was that 1900 mark right there. It won't be drawn in perfectly, okay, because you never get it perfectly. But let me put it at around about there. And I said, watch out for the 1.618 level of approximately, and you can see it right here. How close? I don't know how tiny your screen is, but I said, watch out just for this level of 2,400, and it was give or take a few bucks, but I said 2,470 roughly. That's 2,465 or whatever it is. But I said around about that area, and I drew in this box. Now, I had that level here, 2,350. That was a key Fibonacci from a different level. But I said just watch out for 2,470 as a potential, little resistance level. I am not saying we are going to stop there at all, but it could be a potential little bit of resistance, so just keep it in the back of your mind. It could be just some small intraday resistance, something like that, at that 2,470 mark, at the top end of that right there. Could completely sail through, but I just want you to watch it. The other thing I want you to watch is just this trend line right here. Just watch that for a potential little blow off top. Oh yeah, we've had a great couple of weeks, been a great month. Could we see a little bit of resistance at around about the top end there? That could be at 2,480. Am I saying that's the peak in the gold price? Duh, no. But just watch out for it for a little move up, and maybe a possible spike there, and then we take a little bit of a break for a couple of days. You never know. So just bear that in mind. But we'll do for the bigger gold targets as well. So I'll keep that in, and I'll keep the top end of that. Out of interest, I want to show you on the 4-hour time frame, and the reason why I think that 2,470 level around here could still be just a little bit of a resistance is because we are already in extremely overbought on the 4-hour time frame. So I'm not saying it's a major level, but just watch out for it. 2,470, kind of roughly where we are now. I'm not saying it's dipping from here, but just watch out for it. On the hourly time frame, however, you do want to watch out. We have gone back into extremely overbought again, could potentially be ticking over as well. So we're just already in that area. So a little bit of a red day today after the big spike yesterday, that's not troubling, and that's really par for course. Okay, so just watch 2,470, this level right here, up to 2,480, that trend line. Just keep an eye on it. That's all I'm saying. And this is just for the very short term, not for the long term. Speaking of the long term, let's have a look at the longer term. We'll go back out to the weekly. Dun, 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 dun. I've got the sun in my eyes. It's kind of hard to see. So 2,000, where are we? 2,470 right here. I might need to pop this on to the monthly. Excuse me, people. Thanks for your patience. I will get rid of that for now. I will get rid of that for now, and I will remove this box for now as well. Rectangular box. That's not the one I wanted. Excuse me. That's the one I want. We just need to see a little bit clearly. I am going to keep in for now the $2,400 final hurdle for new all-time highs mark potential as a potential support level. So I'll just keep that in there for now. Just watch out for 2,400. You wouldn't want to see it break below 2,400. Let's just keep it at that. For now, breaking below 2,400, then I'd say, not good. And then we'd be talking about some definite lower prices. Just watch 2,400 as that level. But the next level's moving higher, as we've been talking about. And I'm not saying it's going there in the next 2 months or anything like that, but the big one, of course, $3,000 psychological value. And recently, what I also want to show you, I'm going to do the bigger picture actually. We're going to go out to the 12-month chart. Let's go to the 12-month chart. Just out of interest, I want to show you the 12-month. So this is the yearly chart right here. Each candle is 1 year's worth of time. I will get rid of that for the moment. So, as you can very clearly see, look, in the next year, in the next 6 months even, I would say within the next 12 months, so into 2025, a move up to 3,000 US dollars, dead easy. Dead easy. That's only what? That's just over $500 from here. That is so easy in the next 12 months, until the July of next year. Really easily doable. So just keep that one. It could be a psychological value. But let's talk about the real big ones. I'm going to take the Fibonacci from the old high in the 80s and the lows of the 2000s, because I do find the old highs and lows Fibonacci's to be somewhat predictive on the longer term timescale. Hey, what do you see? Let's take a look. These are some areas I would like you to keep an eye on. So I'm going to pop that onto the quarterly just for a moment, and I'm doing the quarterly just so I can get this a little bit more exact. Excuse my face right up in your face right there. Yeah, I guess that's close enough. Okay, so what can you see here? As I've been talking about, I do find over the many years, I find Fibonacci to be quite predictive on the longer term timescale. I'm going to get rid of that, and I'm going to get rid of that for now. And I'll get rid of the best buy zone. I don't think we probably need the best buy zone anymore, but let me get rid of that and that so you can see all of it. Rectangle, and that mofo can leave too. There we go. Gold on the longer term time frame. This is the 12 monthly. What do you notice? This goes all the way back to 1960. There you go, 1967 for reliable data. Okay, so here's the peak in 1980 of 870 US dollars, and the lows, one double bottom right here. So it bottomed out at $250 in 1999, and then it double bottomed in 2001. Very clear bottom after the fact, of course, hindsight 2020. But out of interest, if you take the highs, if you take it from the high of 1980 and the low right here, so put the 1 there and the 0 there, you get all these little moves up in there. Ah! What's that? Look at that. What's that? Look at it. Gee, where did gold top out at in 2011? Ah! What do you know? That's a high technically of 1,920. And this Fibonacci is 1,870. Okay, so it spiked a tiny little bit. It spiked $50. But look where it landed. Around about that key Fibonacci level that happens to be at the 2.618 from this old high and this old low. Could this still be in play? You never know, quite possibly. I'm not saying it is, but out of interest, I just want to show you the next Fibonacci extensions from, again, the old highs of the 80s and the old lows of the early 2000s. And the next major Fibonacci level is the 4.236. That's at 2,875 US dollars. Okay. And the one after that, out of interest, and definitely not saying it's going there in a year's time or 2 years' time, but just keep in the back of your mind, 4,490 US dollars. You could comfortably call that, 4,500. But look, I would say I would sort of maybe more ignore that because you're talking closer to your $5,000 psychological level. It's more likely to get there. But just out of interest, in the next 12 months, watch out for that $2,800, $2,900 level. And yeah, I know we're splitting hairs here, but you could say anywhere up to that psychological value. So if I pop that back in again, not that, not you, not you, not you either, you son of a bee. Right there's at 3,000. That's not the 3,000. Sorry, gang. Nope. I know, this is fascinating stuff, isn't it? Don't you love watching me just do this random stuff? There you go, $3,000. Okay, so there, watch out for there. As I would say, the next major, I'm talking next major resistance target. And I'm also going to pop in right now, just for your benefit and for my benefit, a rectangular box. So that's for me personally. Blah, blah, blah. Take all with a grain of salt, all that sort of stuff. I'm going to say the next major level to watch out for a potential, decent resistance. Next major resistance is right here. And I'll put it from here to there. So that's from there to there. We're going to call 2875 to 3,000 US dollars right there. So let me pop that in and we'll do one of these chestnuts. We'll go 2875 to 3,000 roughly. If I want to add to that, I'll add to that, but just keep that in the back of your mind. Fibonacci level and a psychological value of 3,000. There is another level at 3,300, but we'll just keep at the sort of 2875 to 3,000 as the next major resistance level for me. And you could see certainly, like, say for example, let's say for example, did I say that 3 times quickly? I did. A spike up to around about that level, and then a little bit of resistance. So just watch for a spike up to 2875 to 3,000. Am I saying it's definitely going to happen? No, because I don't give definites, but just based on the balance of probability on Fibonacci, which I find to be quite predictive, and the psychological value of 3,000, that's where I think we have a reasonable area for a major resistance. There you go. I just gave you my call. And I said watch out for 2,400 on gold as a support level. Anywhere else? No, I will keep it at 2,400 for the moment. I don't want to see, that's 2,350. That's 2,350. That's that. God damn it. 2,400. 2,400, you sons of bees. Where are we? Nope. Where's my 2,400 line? There you go. Final hurdle for all new all-time highs. Where we've broken that hurdle and we've seen a new all-time high. Watch out for 2,400 to be a support level. You preferably don't want to close below 2,400. But look, on the positive notes, it's all looking really positive. This is on the monthly time frame. Bear in mind, though, we've been in extremely overbought territory on gold. This was back in July of 2020. And we're just heading back into that territory now. And you can spend a decent amount of time in extremely overbought. But we are in extremely overbought. Okay, just keep that in the back of your head. Okay, that's why it seems to me like this area here seems like a nice area of decent resistance, because we're already in extremely overbought. And while you can spend some time in extremely overbought, you don't spend years in there. You don't spend months and months and months and months and months. Okay, so we are already there. We will tick over eventually. Could we tick over once we spike around there? Yeah, it's quite possible. I'm not going to give it a definite or anything. So that's all I'll leave it for now. So that's gold, people. We'll go back and do a quick few comments, and then we'll do silver and platinum. But do you think that's a reasonable target? 2875 to 3,000 US dollars is a reasonable, next major resistance level. I think so. Am I saying it's the peak for the gold market? No. Just another, blip on the way is what I would call it. Let's get your comments. Then we'll do silver and platinum. Tony Peterson, you're in the house. Great to see you. Tony, it wouldn't be a show without Tony. And a few more comments right here. Oh, look at you guys. This is fantastic. Australia Post are the disappointment, but we all know that. Yeah, totally. Okay. Sarcasm. Thank God. I read the sarcasm bit at the end. Way too much talking and interacting with viewers. I'm only here for the free technical analysis, and I would like your videos to be exactly how I want. Yes, exactly. Did you know there are some people like that, though? I get comments like, 10 minutes in and you said nothing. 10 minutes in and you didn't say a thing. Yeah, this show's not for you. This is for the GMS family, and then we get to the good stuff. But the good stuff is at the start. The synchronized slurp. 3, 2, 1. Caught you out, people. So yeah, just use the time codes, people. But I like you put sarcasm at the end. Good. Good morning, Jason. Great to see you. TA is the best. It is. Some people don't believe in it. Some people Some people think it's tea leaf reading. Yeah, and I can understand I can see how that's partly true. Yeah, but I think it definitely has its place because, as someone else I know very well said, and I agree with, it's psychology. It's the psychology of the market. And if enough people, particularly enough people with a lot of money, believe that a certain type of technical analysis is predictive, then they'll place their trades accordingly, which happens to propel the prices to those support and resistance levels. So it is a self-fulfilling prophecy, as I always say. So TA isn't magic, but it's just a measurement of psychology. So yeah, TA is the best. I agree. It's not. I get the tea leaf reading, but yeah, because sometimes it doesn't work out. And there are some people who go, well, I said it was going to go here, but then it went here, and this is why. And they kind of, after the fact, they say, well, this is why I was wrong, but no, but I'll just go, yeah, I don't give definites. And yeah, it could go here, but, percentage chances, don't trust the people who say it's definitely going here by this time and all that sort of stuff. Knackers, is your paper trail when buyings with online exchanges stored or reported to our financial controllers? Okay, no. That's a great question. So you're asking, when you buy from a bullion dealer, do the bullion dealers report the buyings to the ATO? No. Bullion dealers have nothing to do with the ATO. They have AML reporting requirements. They have AUSTRAC reporting requirements. If you go into a bullion dealer and you spend over a certain amount you spend over $10,000 and you pay in cash, then it is required that a report is made so it'll be, this person spent over $10,000 in this store in cash. And it doesn't say, you don't say what, I could be wrong on this, but I'm pretty sure you don't have to report what they bought and thing and all that sort of stuff. But it's, this person spent over $10,000 because it's the whole anti-terrorism money laundering thing. But if the ATO were to ever, or a financial or a government institution were ever to knock on a bullion dealer's door and say, hey, give us the records of the people who have been buying precious metals from you. We don't have to do that. Not that I'm in the bullion industry right now as a working for a particular bullion dealer, but every single bullion dealer I worked for, no, they didn't have to do that, and they never got asked. But they're not obliged to, unless there's some new government thing which comes out, and of course you can never tell what's going to happen. But if the police call and say, we believe that someone used stolen funds to purchase, or we believe someone sold back stolen gold to your place because we thought they stole it, then of course we're going to comply. A bullion dealer is going to say, no worries, here's the camera, here's the this, here's the that. But the ATO or anything like that, other government institutions, no. Nope. So don't stress, man. Don't forget to hit the like button. Absolutely. Fib 6.8, please. Oh, the 6,800 one that you saw? Yes, that would be lovely. Saved, yeah. Never give up online wealth. Good to see you on the channel. Which time frame on your analysis? You probably saw all that. I was doing dailies and weeklies and yearlies and stuff. Always great technical analysis, says Tony Peterson. Absolutely. I like that you present technical analysis and also the psychology behind it. Yes, because TA is psychology. TA isn't always 100% right, but it does help. Yes, massive fan of a trend line. Yes, trend lines. People believe it, then they'll place their trades accordingly. In the US, you have to file paperwork if the transaction is over 10,000 of gold. Same thing. My comments age poorly. Joe knows it all. Yeah, ASIC do the same if deal is over 5K. No, it's not deal is over 5K. Maybe it should be. No, you need to provide, with the 5K, you need to provide ID if purchasing over $5,000. But you could purchase $1 million worth of precious metals and pay with a bank transfer, and it's not actually an instantly reportable transaction. Because it's $1 million transaction, the government's going to see it anyway. They're going to see that, they're monitoring all that stuff. right? So that would get flagged probably anyway. But if you spend over $5,000 but under $10,000 and you pay in cash, it's not an instantly we need ID, but it's not an instantly, you don't have to write a report. You don't have to send a report to AusTrack. It's only if you do it in 10,000 or cash where the instant report has to happen. Well, instant meaning you got to do it really soon. So yeah, all right, people, that's some comments. Let's go to silver and platinum. Let's take a look. We've done our huge gold target thing. I've given you my, what am I doing here? Right there, people. All right, that was gold. Now let's take a quick look at silver and platinum to silver. Yes, silver, yes. $31.23 US cents. Great to see us back over. I'm sorry, this is a little bit liney, as I say. I'm going to get rid of a few of these. Give me a few minutes because this is just getting a little bit redonkulous. I will keep that. I will go, yeah, I don't need you for now. I probably don't need you for now. I will get rid of whatever that was. Don't even know where that was coming from. Don't even know where you were. Yep, I'll get rid of you. And no, I'll keep you for now. And let's just keep those two. Fantastic. Silver, great to see. This is on the monthly time frame. What's great to see, we are trending up on the relative strength index. You can all see this. What I've been talking about my final hurdle of 31 US dollars. I did make very sure to put close on monthly. So we are 2 weeks away from closing the month of July, and we are back above $31. It's looking incredibly positive. As you know, I've been 99% certain we're in a new bull market. We're going to be making a move to the previous all-time high, and we'll be making new all-time highs after that. It won't be a triple top. Triple tops are usually not a thing. So, peak in 1980 of around that $50 mark, peak in 2011 of around that $50 mark. Third time will be a charm. I give it you like a 99% guarantee that it won't be a triple top, and we will see new all-time highs. So I'm 99% there ever since we've been above 26 US dollars, because that was the huge line in the sand, a huge Fibonacci level. The fact that we broke above and held here as support above 26 US dollars, we are 99% in a bull market. Okay, I just need for me to be 100% guaranteed. And when I say 100%, I mean air quote 100%, because nothing's 100%. I mean as close to 100% as you get, barring a massive manipulation or some kind of black swan event. But once we close any month above 31 US dollars, we're looking good at the moment. If we close the month of July or August or whatever, then I say 100% in bull market territory. There is, basically nothing stopping it except a black swan. So it's great to see. And because we're above 31 US dollars, my best buy zone area of 28 to 26, you know how I've been talking about this area here? When we were in this level here, I was saying, it's a 70% chance we'll hit the best buy zone. Always a 30% chance that we wouldn't. As we were creeping higher, as we were below this trend line here, I was still within the sort of 70 to 50% chance that we'd hit the best buy zone. Once we cleared this area here, I went more sort of 60, 40, 30, 70 kind of area. But now that we're above this $29.80 mark, right here, and let me pop this on the daily time frame. Sorry, not $29.80. While we're above this area here of $30.70 and particularly above $31, it's basically like a 5% chance. So basically 95% chance we're not seeing the best buy zone now. Bear in mind, when just so you know, so if anyone posts a comment, I never said you should be waiting for the best buy zone. I just said for me, it would be the best risk to reward. Of course, you should be just dollar cost averaging. Buy every regular paycheck. Buy when you think it's right for you. Don't wait for someone else to say, oh, you got to wait till it hits 28 before you buy anymore. Of course not. You just dollar cost average. Just getting that in there for anyone who says, yeah, you told me to wait. And I missed my chance. I didn't tell you that, okay? Don't be a crybaby. So we are above 31 US dollars. Great to see. What do we want to watch out for? Obviously, remaining above 31 is preferable. I would prefer not to close the day below 31 US dollars. I definitely don't want to see, and this is obvious stuff, people, so you don't need me to tell you this, but you definitely don't want to see a close of a day below that $30.70 area. See that spike right there? That's at $30.70 roughly, and you could see we broke through it. Then we held 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days, a whole week. We closed at or above this resistance level of 30.70. That was looking incredibly positive for another move for above 31. Now 31's preferable to hold, but just watch $30.70. Closing below there, not great. Then you'd see some more movement to the downside, and you'd be looking at, I would say, you'd be looking at the top end, that $29.80 level as a level of support. I removed that line, but just watch it right here at $29.80. That's that previous spike previous spike right there. But we're above 31, so it's looking great. So let's do some quick blue sky thinking, as I've been talking about. The next level, and I'm just going to keep it there. Some people have been talking about 35 as a resistance level. It certainly could be, but I'm just going to keep it for now as the next major resistance level at between 37 to 40 US dollars. If we're going to get a little bit more specific, and we may as well, as you can see here, this Fibonacci line, and that's technically actually at $38.50 US cents. But I've given a range here. I think between 37 to 40 is where we realistically top out at for 2024. Could be completely wrong. We could sail and make new all-time highs, or go to do the triple top thing and hit $50 US by the end of this year in 6 months. But just for me, because this is a very old Fibonacci from the old highs of the 1980s and the old lows of the 1990s, the 0.786, which I've spoken about before, at $38.50 US cents. Right there, clear close on the yearly in 1980, clear resistance 1, 2, 3, 4. Sorry, that's $31. My apologies. No, sorry, that was the 1, 2, 3, 4. We cleared. That's the 31. Sorry, my apologies. But clear close here at $38.50, a spike up to around about $38 roughly there. So that's why just watch out for $38.50 specifically. If it hits $38.50 specifically and has kind of sort of a major spike there, hey, I'll go, look at me, I'm awesome. But look, that's why I give the range of between 37 to 40, I think is reasonable for 2024. And then above that, of course, look, you've got from there, and I'm not saying this in the next 6 months or whatever, I don't give time frames, but after that, of course, you've got the previous all-time highs of $50. After the all-time highs, the next major levels, and I've spoken about this before, 75 US dollars. The next one after that is 120 US dollars. Can you imagine the day we go into triple-digit silver? What are we going to do? What kind of party are we going to have? Is it going to be, maybe it's pants off, whatever day that is. We all sit here with our pants. You only see me from here anyway. Maybe we do shirts off. I'm just being stupid now. We'll have some kind of party. Whether it involves shirts or no shirts, we'll see. But 120 US dollars. And this, just out of interest, this horizontal line right here, this marks 10 years from today. I did a video last week, I think it was, saying, where can we reasonably hit if we make new all-time highs? What's the two reasonable targets within the next 10 years? And they do happen to be easily $75. You can easily hit 75 US dollars within the next 10 years. And I think still reasonable, you can very reasonably hit 120 US dollars within the next 10 years. I think that's pretty easy for you all to see. And look, there's that potential higher target here of 190 US dollars as well within the next 10 years. Quite doable, but to be reasonable, 75 easy, 120 easy, in my humble opinion, in the next 10 years. So that's the big outlook. This is the 12 monthly relative strength index. We're on our way upwards. It's trending upwards beautifully. So it's looking so good for silver, particularly in the next 10 years. Of course, bear in mind, you could be, people getting in could be buying here at 75 and then it has a dip for a couple of years. Again, this is the yearly time frame right here. right? Yearly chart. So bear that in mind. So it's about getting in at the right time. Is around about here a good time? I think it happens to be. Not financial advice. Do your own research and all that kind of jazz. That is silver. I've told you to what to look out for. So look out for $30.70 and $31 as the little support level just in the next few days and weeks. And watch out for $37 to $40 as the next sort of major resistance level. But you're going to get another silver analysis tomorrow. That's silver. We've done gold. Let's take a quick look at my old mate, platinum. Okay. Ooh. Okay. All right. Platinum on the weekly time frame, back over 1,000 US dollars, 1,003 US dollars. Interesting. I have been talking about this potential, and I only say potential, I'll pop this on the daily, potential head and shoulders. I said we're still in that area, so just watch out for the left shoulder, the head, and the right shoulder. Did say day before yesterday, watch out for this. Oh, gee, what do you know? What do you know? What do you know? I said watch out for this downtrend line, the very long-term downtrend line. I won't show you the whole thing. Long-term downtrend line from February of 2008. Watch out for it as a level of support. You would want to see it find support and then bounce off to suggest that this head and shoulders pattern will not play out. Now, somebody in the comments of the YouTube video asked me, what is a head and shoulders pattern? So I will answer that for you right now. A head and shoulders pattern is when you see a move like this. It's pretty easy. It looks like a head with shoulders. So there's the left shoulder, there's the head, and there's the right shoulder, which is potentially playing out unless we see this continue to be support and then we break up above here. But head and shoulders denotes that if we go like this, then we have that, then we come down to say here at 950, that is a head and shoulders pattern playing out, which says more likely that we see some lower prices coming. And then the way you can measure the head and shoulders pattern, if this does play out, I'm not saying it is actually, I'm more erring on the side of probably not, but let's say 50-50 at the moment. If we come down to 940, it's quite possible that that's the neckline right there. If we break the neckline, then what tends to happen is you then have a measured move, which is measured from the neckline to the top and then all the way down. Now I'm going to take that neckline instead of that neckline. Most people would probably take it from the left-hand neckline. I'll take it from the right-hand neckline just to give you a, let's see, price, right there. We'll take it from here to here, and you would, if it's a head and shoulder pattern that plays out, you would see at least a measured move down to around the $820 area. I was calling 840 simply because it's been a previous major support level. So I would say you would see if this was a head and shoulders pattern on platinum and that plays out, that would be taken out probably for me, and it would get into our best buy zone. And a support level of around about 840 would be likely if you don't see support there at this uptrend line. But because it's a head and shoulders, which would be playing out then, that measured move would likely play out. And so you'd more likely get down to that 840 kind of dollar level. But I am not saying this is a head and shoulders because watch out again. As I said, watch for this support right here. And we did find support yesterday. That's great to see. What I need to see in order for this not to be a head and shoulders, in order for it to be invalidated, literally a dog jumping at my window, jumping as high as it can. Okay. Good on you, Dolly. I don't know if you can hear that, but the dog outside the window is going like that. Let's see. What you would want to see is a break above here. So you would want to break above 1,020 US dollars, breaking and holding above 1,020, or this downtrend line right there says head and shoulders not in effect, and we're actually going to be heading up, which would say a reverse would be happening, and we're going to be making a play into my getting excited zone, which is right here. Anywhere between this downtrend line and here is my excited zone. In this zone right here, I'm like, whatever. In this zone right here, I'm depressed. Okay, for platinum. So I'm like, whatever. As you know, it's my fickle mistress that flirts with me constantly. It has been doing so for a long time. If when we get into the excited zone, I will tell you. And then, but if we break here in the next few days, or if we close a week above here, I'm getting excited for platinum. Okay, I'm excited in this area. I am ultra uber, no holds barred, bull market for at least a year or 2 years to come for platinum if when we close any month above 1,115 to 1,120 US dollars, give or take. Okay, then I'm saying platinum is going to be one of the best buys. Okay, we also did a video last week, I think it was, about platinum and its ratio against gold and silver. It looks quite undervalued to gold and silver. I'll put a link. Go back, find my video. You can find it. It says something like, platinum versus gold and silver, or I'll put a link to it here when I get a chance to do that. So that is platinum. Watch out for 1,120 to 1,130 to be broken to then say not a Head and Shoulders, and it's onwards and upwards for platinum. I'll be getting excited. I'm losing the voice, people. I gotta go. So that is gold, silver, platinum. Gold to silver ratio is still within that zone that we talked about, just so you know. And we spiked up to, gee, what do you know? Funny that, isn't it? Even on ratios, technical analysis works. We found a resistance level at, what do you know? This downtrend line. Right there, a spike right up to it at the 79.5 level. So gold's been taking center stage for a few days. We're finding a little bit of resistance because, where gold goes, silver then tends to catch up. So silver caught up in the last 24 hours. So we've seen a little bit of a dip in the gold to silver ratio, but we're back within this zone right here. So it's kind of any person's game. It's any metal's game at the moment between gold and silver. Gold could certainly continue back up to take center stage for a while, and it could just sail through. Okay, I think silver is a better bet in the longer term against gold, but you got to watch what the market is doing, watch what the ratios are doing. So until we're above or below these two trend lines right here, I can't make a call either way. So basically, just like platinum, right? When we're in this zone, I'm excited for silver against gold. When we're in this zone, I'm excited for gold against silver. And when we're in this zone right here, I'm like, it's any man's game, any metal's game. So that's where we are. It's any metal's game. No clear winner as yet for the longer term. So that's the gold to silver ratio, gold, silver, platinum. Final comments, people. Get your questions in your comments. We'll do a final synchronized slurp, and then I've got stuff to do. I have clients to talk to. Go away. I have clients to talk to and more clients to get as well, because what do? I help businesses launch and grow on YouTube. I teach you the skills. I have a 10-week course. I teach you how to create consistently engaging content. I already have clients. Perth Bullion Exchange is one of my clients. I have other clients that I'm working with, and they're doing great guns as well. So if you have a business, any kind of business, by the way, you might think YouTube's not for you. I can almost guarantee that it is. But if you're not sure, let's have a call together. Let's do a Zoom call. I'll go through your business. You tell me all about it, and I'll give you my honest opinion of whether I think launching and growing on YouTube or another social media. It could be Instagram, it could be Facebook, but you still need to know how to make good content, and that's what I teach. Because you've seen me do it with Bullion Now's channel. I started that channel and grew that channel to over 20,000 subscribers by the time I left the company. I revitalized Ainslie Bullion's channel. I worked for them for a while. So you've seen my work, okay? You've got the proof is in the pudding. So I'm great at building communities, and that's what I'm doing here with Good Morning Stackers as well. It's kind of like I do it because I love it. It's kind of like a proof of concept as well. Join the GMS family by hitting the big red subscribe button. Final comments, people, and then we've got to get out of here. I'm always weary of... Well, that's dropped. Great, I love these comments. Fantastic. Final comments. We'll get to that one. Fantastic. Great, so many comments. Let's get through all of these, and then we'll go. In the US, you have, there we go. Minister 988, is silver still king? Yes, it remains king for now. I'll keep it as king for now. I think over the longer term, silver is still king. unless something changes. But I think silver is still king against gold and platinum. Silver, for me, so far, silver king, platinum the queen, because I think it's quite undervalued in relation to gold, and then gold last, actually. But that could completely change. But right now, silver is still the king. Yes. Tony says, I always limit myself to 5K. I do my bet. I love silver too much. Yeah, I really do. I love it. Oh, surely there's the I love silver t-shirts, right? Like the I love New York thing. Yeah. Joe, a suggestion. Can you do TA on your Can you do technical analysis on your subscriber count? I would think it would be fun to see if it's accurate. Right, okay. I don't know you can do that. Off the top of my head, I don't think you can, because I'm not sure. I don't think I have a chart from I don't have a decent chart from my subscriber account. I could have a look at that. Could I accurately predict my subscriber count, using Fibonacci or using trend lines? No, I don't think you can, because my subscriber count, I'm only watching it. No, I can't, because I'm only watching my subscriber count. No, millions of people don't have access to my subscriber count. If millions of people did and they were trading my subscriber count, then yes, TA would be accurate, because you need lots of people for mass psychology for the self-fulfilling prophecy to take effect. So logically, I don't think you can, as far as I'm aware. Lance, JP Morgan is trying hard to suppress the price of silver. I've heard that. Watch them at the end of the week and monthly. Yeah, the end of the week and monthly closes. Yes, but always bear in mind. I don't necessarily know if that's JP Morgan doing its tamp down thing. I think that's psychology at the end of major timeframes, ends of days, and even ends of hours. You always have spikes. You almost never have on the bigger timeframes your dailies. You can do it. Actually, you can do it more on your dailies, but not a lot do you see it on your weeklies and your monthlies, where you close the week at there and then it opens exactly there. Usually you have a spike at the end of the month, and then it closes a little bit below the weekly. You don't see the solid green at the very top. You always see little spikes, and that happens. That's people getting in their last orders or whatever. You do have those wicks, and the wicks say that the price is a little bit down. And particularly on monthlies as well. So I don't necessarily think that's a JP Morgan thing. It could be just mass psychology. But I do know a lot of people believe that. But it could be true. I bought 10 ounces when it hit. I bought 10 ounces when it hit $29 gold. That's amazing, man. Silver. I bought 10 ounces when it hit $29 US, and I feel like a boss. It feels good, doesn't it, when you get in at those levels? Best buy zone for me is in the first 10 minutes of any new low mintage release. Yeah, absolutely. Tony does a lot of the limited mintage stuff, so you got to get in quickly limited mintages, and then the premiums can maintain or even grow over time. So good one, Tony. That was also for my thumbnail. Sneaky thumbnail move right there. David Williams got a roll of 20 of the new Trump coins last week. Cool. First purchase over $51. Oh, it smarts, doesn't it? Again, I've been in bullion since 2010, September of 2010. So yeah, 51. Oh, it feels weird, doesn't it? But look, again, in 10 years' time, you'll be going, I bought it $51. And and in 100 years' time, be like, my grandpa bought it $51. David, and a 5-ounce Desert Scorpion. Oh, Desert Scorpions are really cool. Will be looking cheap soon. Soonish, yeah, I think so. Let's see. Wally's back in the house. Good to see you. Has anyone utilized AI to do technical analysis yet? No, I haven't. I could probably jump on ChatGPT and say, based on da 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 da. So I haven't actually. Full FST says guaranteed training AI to trade is a thing, yeah. But they are trained on historical data, which just reinforces TA. Yeah. Premiums are still high. Never went back down when spot dropped. Yeah, after hitting $48 mark. I gauge cheap as the price of a kangaroo. Yeah. You know, I have a really cheap... I got the world's cheapest kangaroo. You know what I'm talking about, Tony, just out of interest. I scored the world's cheapest silver kangaroo. How cheap? Free. And it shouldn't have been free. I'm just going to give another plug for Tony here. Tony Peterson won a bet with me that silver would not hit $48 by October 2024. And we bet a silver coin. She won the bet and she sent me the silver coin. I still don't know what you're doing, Tony. I know what you're doing. And she also, by the way, we're not there yet, but the silver giveaway, I will be giving away this silver coin when we hit 500 subscribers. This was proudly donated by one Tony Peterson right down there, who's in the comments just there. This is a Jekyll and Hyde silver round right there. Beautiful round. And I will be giving that away when we hit 500 subscribers. It won't go to the 500th subscriber. We'll do some kind of lottery system. You'll have to put it in. You have to fill out a form, an entry thing, something like that. And then we'll do like a random number generator, something like that. We'll figure it out. But that'll go free as a giveaway for the 500th subscriber, proudly donated by Tony Peterson, who you want to see if you want any of those kind of limited mintage coins, which I think is not a bad idea. David Williams says, triple digit silver. Yeah, baby. Yep. Pants off at... Okay, pants off at $69 for silver. I like it. A big party, Joe. A big party. It's going to be... Oh, I will erect streamers. On that day, I'll have streamers ready. I think I actually will. I'm not joking. I'll probably have streamers ready, and on that day that we hit triple digit US dollar silver, should I do? No, I might do two. Maybe I'll do an Australian dollar as well, Australian dollar silver, which will be coming sooner rather than US. But we'll have a big party. We'll have a party for both. David says, I do find myself comparing everything to the price of kangas. Yeah, because they're the cheapest. They're the cheap and cheerful ones. Hey, mate, want to check out Gary Network? Gary Network? Don't know, but Disclosure Crypto, thanks for that. Appreciate it. We love the crypto people too. Now, if you were coming, I'm not saying you were doing the following. If you were coming on to spam this, I don't like spam. Don't appreciate it. Don't do it again. But if you're saying, hey, you're on this channel and you are in the precious metals as well, do I want to check out Gary Network? No idea what it is. Don't particularly care. Maybe I'll get a chance to look at it. But don't be spammy. If you're going to be spammy, you're out of here. Okay? FST says, I think bullion will suspiciously be unavailable when silver's supply-demand situation comes to roost. I need you to expand on that a little bit more. What do you mean by suspiciously unavailable? And what kind of supply and demand are you talking about? Well, obviously a much lessening of supply and a higher demand. Why do you think it will be suspiciously unavailable though? Tell me more about that. Kangas were $37 from the Perth Mint when spot was $32 in 2017. All right, there you go. This is on the platinum thing. Wow, if platinum drops below 900, I'm definitely a buyer. That's the top end of my best buy zone. I think that would be a good buy for platinum. Anywhere from 900 below, good buy for platinum. Good buy. Let's see. Tony says, I'm always wary of reports going to ASIC. This is the thing. Confiscation laws were never rescinded. Yeah. Can be reenacted with a stroke of the pen. We might do a full topic video on that about confiscation. Is it a thing? Could it really happen? Blah, blah, blah. Lance, gold miners going good on the open. Yeah, I bet gold miners are doing very well. I don't have any gold miners, actually. Platinum spread is killer at the dealers. Pretty tough sell. Yeah, but, you're buying for the longer term. So you buy here, you wait till it's at least over the premium that you paid, and then don't worry about it. Will copper one day become the poor man's silver? Quite possible. Yes. Copper could be. I mean, I will do a separate copper show. We'll do a copper topic. Maybe this week coming, maybe next week, but we'll do a technical analysis on copper. By the way, coming up soon this week, I did promise I would do a secrets of the bullion dealers, or something like bullion dealer myths, or so look at the light there, or things you never knew, or some things you need to know. I'm going to give you like secrets of the bullion dealer, like as in having been in a bullion dealer of my own personal business and then working for 3 other businesses. Secrets of the bullion dealers that that you didn't know about, that you might be interesting to know. I'll do that this week. Let's see. Tony Pearson, I researched it a lot. If needed for the financial stability of the country, the RBA can send 30-day surrender notes or face a daily accruing fine. Best not to have large purchases recorded. Maybe. But look, I don't like to give away a lot of my personal life, but in my past, and it doesn't mean past behavior is not a prediction of future behavior, but I have in my past have had a gambling addiction. I've had a little bit of a gambling thing. I wouldn't call it an addiction, but I've had a gambling thing. So, No, your audio didn't drop out. Pete Repeat says, Joe, your thoughts on self-managed super funds instead of industry super? Self-managed super. Do it now. Don't delay. Do it now. Was that my opinion on self-managed super? Do it as soon as humanly possible. If you can do it, do it. If you have enough in there, don't do it if you've got 10 grand in there. Probably maybe not worth it. You'd want a certain amount. Don't believe, though. Do not believe the people that say, and where this is coming from, the industry super, but you shouldn't have self-managed super if you have anything less than $200,000 in there. Bull dust. You've got 50 grand. Maybe you got 25 grand. Maybe. Because why? Self-managed super, you can put it into whatever you reasonably want, and precious metals happen to be one of them. Cryptocurrency happens to be the other. Manage it yourself. You can do the do-it-yourself ones. They're relatively cheap, or you can have someone do it for you. And there's just some yearly reporting requirements, and it's pretty easy. And do it. If you can, do it. If you can reasonably do it, do it. Greg C says cash is king. Cash is king for emergencies. Absolutely agreed. You should always, I don't tell people what to do, but you should always keep some cash on hand in case the power goes out, in case the World War III, in case the whatever, right? Yes, keep some cash on hand, but it's not king necessarily. So it depends what you mean by cash is king, over what period of time and all that, but definitely you want some cash. Got to hold it. Superannuation 401s in the US is the crosshairs of the government anyways. Superannuation is in the crosshairs. Yeah. So I am a believer that by the time I turn 65, by my retirement age, superannuation may not even be a thing anymore. It might be vastly different to what it is now. So better to have self-managed super where you can have precious metals as part of that. And out of interest, you're allowed to store it in your own house. If you want to, I don't recommend storing anything in your own house. I don't do so. I have little bits and pieces. I don't store my stack in my own house because I'm a little bit exposed in the bullion industry. You know my face. You could track me and all that kind of crap. But for the regular person, okay, you can store it in your own house. Don't tell people, but it's out of interest. You're allowed to with self-managed super. So you can buy gold, silver with your self-managed super, and you're allowed to have it in your possession. You don't have to have it stored at a third party. Okay? Bear all that in mind. David Williams says, a lot of the end of the week tamp downs a massive volume in one transaction. Yeah, okay, fair enough. That gives weight to the JP Morgan thing. So yeah, cash is used for buying real money. Yes, currency for money. I have 600 plus of the Silver Shield copper coins. Good on you, mate. Yeah. Just 70 more subscriptions until the Jekyll Island silver round giveaway. Full Spectrum says, I was subscriber 99. Glad you're feeling better. The energy here is great. The energy is good today. We've got so many comments. We'll get through them very quickly and then we'll go. But I'd like to get everyone's comments here. Been buying lots of US silver dollar Morgans lately in the 23 to 27 range, averaging a bit over $32 an ounce. Yeah, good. But the 100 plus year old silver dollar tends to have higher premiums. Yeah, fair enough. Looking forward to all those 3 topics, Joe. Yeah, I'll get to those. Yes, thank you. Yep, what your bullion dealer won't tell you. Yes, I love that. I love it. I love because I do this for a living. I love coming up with those titles, and that's a great one. That's just out of interest, content wise, and that's a great point. FST. That's you just remove the word. Where are we? Remove. I was going to point to it. Remove bullion and dealer. Remove those 2 words, and what your ex won't tell you is a great title for a video. It's got to be relevant to your industry, but that is so. It's just clickbaity enough that people go, it's such a perfect thing because, and I've what your thingo won't tell you, why your blah blah blah. I've used that a lot in my the businesses. One in particular, if you remember, and it's one of the ones that's had a lot of views on YouTube, which was why. It's the one that I created and put out there on the Bullion Now channel, why every bullion dealer should have an XRF machine. That's kind of throws in the little fear of, oh, what if mine doesn't? So what your ex won't tell you is like that. It throws in that little bit of fear persuasion, and a little bit of fear is really good persuasion. So I love that. What your bullion dealer won't tell you. Yep, I think that's something like that is very good. Thanks, Joe. Been toying with it for ages. I will get onto it. That was about something, probably platinum, maybe. I don't quite remember. Meant transactions. Transacting is cash. Okay, transacting in cash is king. Yep, cool. Black coal, GMS. And last 2 comments, I think. Oh, it's Narg the Clown. First time, I think, watching. I got your comment the other day. Is the world going to look like Mad Max in the future or more like Star Trek? We could do a whole topic on the SHTF scenario, but let me give you my quick, small opinion. It's more like Star Trek than Mad Max, I think. And that's based on the law of slow-moving disasters. So the law of slow-moving disasters says, if we see that an asteroid is going to hit the Earth, we're probably going to see that, quite a long time in advance. And so we have a long enough time in order to put all those things in place to knock that out of the sky. Do you know what I mean? So it's the law of slow-moving disasters. If it's moving slow enough, if we see it in enough time, something usually happens. And it's usually something that you're not going to expect. Some new technology or some whatever that you can't predict, take climate change, for example. If you believe that climate change, why have I got scissors? If you believe that climate change is a systemic risk, you still don't have to worry about it because the law of slow-moving disasters says, well, we're seeing it in enough time. We'll just put a whole bunch of things in place. For example, nuclear technology, which happens to be zero carbon emissions. The Generation 3 nuclear technology, which has been around for a long time, has never had a meltdown. The Generation 4 nuclear technology, which will be coming online, the modular nuclear reactors, which are Gen 4, have zero, engineering-wise, cannot melt down. So nuclear is the way to go. So don't worry about climate change, whether it's a thing or not a thing. I don't have a dog in the fight because it doesn't matter, because the law of slow-moving disasters tells me it's going to be fine, right? So I think, would it look like Mad Max? No, I don't think so. I think we're probably more like Star Trek. I mean, technology will get better and better and better. It generally does. I don't think we're going to go back to, Mad Max style. Nah, I don't think that's a thing. It's great fiction, but I don't think it's a thing. Let's see. Black coal a bit late. We'll have to watch the replay. Right. What your ex won't tell you is how much metal they really bought. Yeah. And quite possibly what your current partner won't tell you is how much metal they currently own. All right, we're getting to the final comments here. So you can't see, yeah, okay. David Williams says, so you can't see Mad Max coming already? Ha ha ha. I know that was a sort of a tongue-in-cheek ha ha comment, but that's the, and I'm not saying you were doing this, okay? But I'm just doing this as an explanation for people. That's the slippery slope fallacy, and that ties into this law of slow-moving disasters. So there's actually not really such thing as a slippery slope. Oh, watch out, it's a slippery slope. Oh, if we go down this road, it'll be a slippery slope. Yeah, but slippery slopes really aren't a thing, because by the time you start getting down that thing, the law of slow-moving disasters comes in and you never get to the bottom of the slope, because the law of slow-moving disasters kicks in and people go, oh, hang on, no, that's enough now, right? So take anything. Haven't we seen the pendulum been swinging back on a bunch of things recently? Whether that, sort of socio-politically, whether that be DEI, for example, it's been a big thing for a while. It's a slippery slope. Yeah, until it gets to a point where, how will I say this? I won't say that. Where people go, okay, enough now. Okay, now the pendulum is going to swing back. And this is what society does. The pendulum swings. Sometimes it gets close to the extremes of one side, and then it swings back, and then it gets close to the extremes of the other side. And none of us want the extremes. We don't want the extreme that side. We don't want the extremes that side. We want this kind of thing. That's good. So I know you were kind of being a bit funny about it, but no, I can't see it. Yeah, but slippery slope now. Tony Pearson, I think more so Mad Max than Star Trek. Nah. The Island was a good predictive movie. Oh, I think you're being a little bit funny now. Rod says, great to see you on the channel, Rod. Everyone by now should have noticed something is off with the world the last few years especially, even if they can't put their finger on it exactly what's causing it. Yes, they are. That slippery slope has been happening for a while, and now, and you can see it very clearly, everyone can see, very much particularly in the last few months, and in particular in the last couple of days with what happened with, good old Mr. Trump there. Yes, it's around about this point that people who were not awake are now going, that's enough now. And you are seeing the pendulum swing back now, in my humble opinion. So I think we'll all be okay, is the short answer, because of the law of slow-moving disasters. Good observation, Rod. Yeah, good observation. We all know the bridge is out, but the train still keeps rattling along. Never underestimate the insanity of the left. Okay. I'm going to be that guy who doesn't say, and I know you're not saying this, all right? I'm going to be the guy, this is my thing. I've asked this question a lot of people. Do you want to be right, or do you want to be persuasive? Because they don't necessarily go hand in hand. So it would be easy to say, oh, those lefties, those crazy lefties, they're this and that and the other. But obviously it's not all of them. It's a fringe of the real, there's mental illness on every side of the aisle. A lot of mentally ill people on the extreme right, a lot of mentally ill people on the extreme left, and as everyone else in the kind of spectrums. There's the center, and then there. We just want to be left alone, people. Do you know what I mean? Don't worry about the crazies on the left. Don't worry about the crazies on the right. But never underestimate the insanity. Yeah, look, again, the pendulum's been swinging that way, and now it'll be swinging back. Don't stress. Tony says, nah, Joe, I'm a dedicated tinfoil hatter. I know, but this is the good thing. We need the tinfoil hatters, because they are the whatchamacallem, they're the early adopters, if you want to go. They're the early warning sign people. They're your Alex Joneses. And say what you want about Alex Jones, but man, he was talking about some stuff years, years ahead of this stuff actually happening. And some people call him a loony, but look, he's an early adopter of stuff that actually happened. He's an early warning sign. So we need you, tinfoil hatters. We need you and we appreciate you because you're the warning bells. You're the, the asteroid's going to hit the Earth. You're the scientist at the start of the movie in the asteroid movie, which is, you're trying to warn everyone and the government's not listening to you. And then you go through a crazy adventure and eventually you're right. We need the tinfoil hatters. We respect you. Let's see. Casual reminder to like the video. We're going in the next 2 minutes, people, so get your last comments in. We'll do the synchronized slurp and go, I'd much rather be wrong. Correct. I agree. Wouldn't you rather be wrong about all this stuff? I agree. Jason Athworth said, I'm going to comment on this just for a second. Normally you're talking amongst yourselves though, but he says to David Williams, I don't think you know what the real left stands for, mate. Do any of us really? Yeah. I have my own feelings on, the left, but the left are people too, okay? Alex Jones was right about almost everything. Almost. He is right about a lot of things. Rod says the left is, okay. We're getting a little political here, but that's okay. The left is worse than the right. There are hardly any extreme right. I tend to agree. And they have no positions of power. I agree. The extreme left are everywhere and have infiltrated all the institutions. I do agree with that. I don't like to use the word worse, but if you're using worse in the way that you're saying they're more in the system, then yes, I would agree with that. And I do agree. There are hardly any extreme right. And when we're talking extreme right, we're talking, your white supremacists, your neo-Nazis, your all that kind of stuff, extreme, ethno-state nationalists, all those ridiculous, stupid shit, right? There's a very small amount of those people, very small, and they get blown up a lot and say, oh, look at all these neo-Nazis, look at all these things, it's white supremacy. No, it's not. They're an extremely, extremely fringe group of insane people, of really dumb idiots, who have basically no power. But the left, of course, like to make up that they're this huge thing, which they're not. So I do agree with you, Rod. And they have no positions of power, no. And the extreme left are everywhere and have infiltrated all the institutions. I do agree with that. Much more so, yes, of course. Look at all the whole education. I love let me say very quickly, I always have to say this, I love my teachers. I love my teachers. I love my educational professionals, all that. But it is true that educational professionals in general tend to be more left-leaning, particularly in the higher echelons of the educational system. It's very much a left-leaning thing. And so, yes, and of course, if I wanted to infiltrate and take over my ideology, what would I do? I would get into the higher echelons of the education system, and I would then enact policy, which is to quote unquote brainwash, quote unquote, we're all brainwashed, but quote unquote brainwash the younger generations. So yeah, if I was an evil guy, I'm smart. I'm smart enough to know that if I was an evil person and I wanted to enact my own ideology, how would I do it? Well, you've got to start with the young, so then you would try and get people of your same ideology into the higher echelons of the educational system in order to affect educational policy change. And then what other institutions would I want to get into? Well, I'd want to get into the universities for the young, impressionable kids out of high school going in. So educational system in general. I'd want to get into these other areas, and gee, they naturally happen to be in all these other areas. So yeah, I do agree with that. But again, the pendulum is swinging back. So don't stress about it. It is the law of slow-moving disasters. It's the Adams law of slow-moving disasters. That's who it's named after. It's named after Scott Adams. Let's see. Oh, this is becoming a big one. Let's see right here. Someone's trying to call me. Give me 1 second. Right there. Oh, okay. Guys, I have to go. All right. My wonderful people, I have to go. I've had a phone call and I've got to go. So that is someone who needs to get in the house. So last one, I think the left you talk of are all neoliberal. See, you do. You have the working people's left. We're talking about the extremes, okay? We're talking about the extremes, the basically the wannabe communists, of which communism has never worked and never will because it doesn't align human incentives. It's mental. Anyway, that is it. We'll leave it on that, people. That has been Good Morning Stackers. We'll get the final synchronized slurp in, then I've got to let someone in the door. This has been has it been the longest show? Quite possibly. Thank you very much for watching. Gold at new all-time highs. Kicking goals, everyone. Silver looking amazing. You're all looking amazing. You're all beautiful and wonderful. Last synchronized slurp. Here we go. 3, 2. There we go, people. Got to go. No music or anything. Got to go. Stay safe. Stay informed. Keep stacking. See you tomorrow.